Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Hello. Today is not a Carnival by Daylight. Instead, this is going to be a video discussing five chapters, five killers and counterpart survivors that I think would be great for Dead by Daylight, but I don't see a lot of people talking about, if at all. Some of these might be a bit of a surprise. Some of these will probably be a hot button topic. Please feel free to agree, disagree in the comments below. Let's go ahead and start with my first pick, The Dunwich Horror from H.P. Lovecraft. There's not a lot of Eldritch representation. I mean, we do have the Dredge, but I would like to see another truly monstrous killer. Now, for the Dunwich Horror, I'm thinking of a dual set of Wilbur Wheatley and his brother, the son of Yog-Sothoth, as kind of a duo set with Wilbur directing his brother, who is, in a sense, kind of following him, but is usually intangible by the survivors. Like, you can't see him. He just kind of phases through stuff. He's kind of a shadow. And then I was thinking that for a map, we could use Arkham University. So we could have the actual library where the Necronomicon is placed. As far as survivors, I think really doesn't the chapter wouldn't necessarily need a survivor, but if we are going to have one, I think Henry Armitage from both that and other series would be a decent enough survivor. Someone who was the head of Arkham, Massachusetts, Miskatonic University's like paranormal division. So he's a really good pull in for as just a lore character about someone who knows about Eldritch beings and could possibly be a threat to the entity itself. And real quick, I'm going to describe what I think might be a great power set, or my reasoning for bringing these killers in. I kind of touch on that at all the killers. Is I think that Wilbur could, like the Cenobite before him, direct his brother to do tendrils attacks from the ether. And then a meter builds up where his brother slowly becomes more tangible and more kind of connected to the world to a point where he fully manifests and all of his powers become enhanced. And the way to stop that would be to locate the Necronomicon, read from it, and banish the brother yet again into the void, where it resets the counter. I know it's kind of pulling from the Cenobite, but since we lost the license, it'd be nice to give some sort of a homage to a killer we lost, and to not throw away the powers and perhaps innovate on the design. Number 2, I'm going to switch to a video game character, and I think it should be Diablo from the series Diablo. The Lord of Terror has a mountain of cosmetics, has a mountain of games behind him. He's a well-recognized figure. And while the game itself he's from isn't necessarily horror, there are certainly very horror themes about it. I don't see why someone called the Lord of Terror wouldn't be invited into the entity's realm, since they are inviting killers from across the multiverse, or just snatching them. And Diablo is one who can be curtailed, at least to some extent. Survivors, I'm thinking either Leia from Diablo 3, Deckard Cain, or the fallen angel Tyrael in his human form as a survivor. It could be any combination of the three, or just one of them. Maps, I'm thinking the Ruins of Tristram fits easily within the Bordeaux universe. Something nice and simple. For powers, I'm thinking introducing a flame-based power that can cause a burn effect. And with Diablo allowing to fire a fiery bolt, and wherever it hits, it sits and allows Diablo to call it back, kind of like a reverse artist that pulls the flame back to him, and if you're in the path of the flame, it will damage you. So gives some interesting counterplay to loops and some nice setup for, long shots with a firing the shot and then calling it back from great distances and having the chance of just hitting people with skilled shots. So, third killer or chapter that I would like to see in Dead by Daylight, and this might be one that might be a hot button topic. the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles license. With, of course, the killer being the Shredder, and the survivors being either April O'Neil or Casey Jones. Not the Turtles themselves, partially because, it'd be weird to kind of like redo some of the mores around the Turtles' physiology, and the fact that the Turtles themselves have said to have been teenagers, where there are iterations of Casey Jones and April O'Neil which are adults, so kind of go around that. Maps, I'd like to see the sewer hideout for the Turtles, kind of a pseudo indoor map where you're in the sewers. I think that'd be a really cool. With Shredder since he's a ninja, having a bit of a version of stealth along with some lunge ability, being able to kind of speed up short distances and do a quick lunge that can hit or throw people, and the speed up ability allowing him to vault both pallets and windows. But he has to exit his ability in order to injure people while he's being speedy. So kind of a mixture between stealth and speed, giving the Shredder a lot of map mobility. For the fourth killer, I'm going to go back to a video game, and I'm going to say, and again, this is one that I want to take the moment to say I went back and forth on what to choose, and I believe that the shark from Maneater is the right choice for a shark-based killer in Dead by Daylight. And I know a lot of people say, well, you need Jaws. You need the iconic shark. And that's true. Jaws would be a great pick, but there's several issues with that. And I'll discuss that perhaps in a different video about the full reason why I went with Maneater over Jaws. But I think Maneater would be the right choice, with obviously the bull shark from Maneater being the killer, and the survivor being Scaly Pete, his nemesis throughout most of the story. Don't really see a map for this one. It'd be difficult to bring a map in with a shark-based killer. Powers, obviously, the shark from Maneater did a lot of hard, fast hits and tail swipes. So I'm thinking something where utilizing the powers that he gained throughout the story of Maneater, being able to do a kind of a ranged lash, which can hit and slow survivors, allowing his headbutt to hit and do damage, or hit and down, depending on how we want to run it. With distance being the further the distance he makes the tail / hit, the longer the slowdown is for the survivor. And finally, fifth choice, one that's near and dear to my heart personally, and one I think really deserves a spot in Dead by Daylight, is the series Pumpkinhead, with, of course, the killer being the titular Pumpkinhead from the movie series. Don't really see a survivor or a map that I can really call forth that really stands out that, like, we need this survivor or we need this location from the Pumpkinhead series. Pumpkin, I think, stands pretty well on his own, kind of as a paragraph chapter, just a killer alone chapter, with Pumpkinhead being he was always determined as a fast, stealthy, and a killer that was tenacious as far as tracking. So I'm thinking something along the lines of being able to, mark a target, which makes them more difficult for them to escape Pumpkinhead, and being able to utilize his stealth around specific chosen targets, picking a target, marking them, and then that target is unable to see Pumpkinhead, but they're able to see them, which would allow him to come up and make attacks or make surprises. He is very much an M1 style killer, so he doesn't have a lot of unique abilities. It is said that his tail can lash out and do damage, but I'm thinking more of a tracking style killer versus anything else. So those are my choices. I want to say thank you guys much again. Please like, subscribe, share the video, tell everyone about it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me, am I way off base on these picks? Do you guys agree, like, hey, yeah, maybe they do belong in Dead by Daylight? That'd be really cool. Again, I haven't gone into the logistics of who you'd have to talk to or how you'd be able to get the license. with a lot of these. Some of them seem pretty simple. I'll know a lot of the companies a lot of these are from. Maybe I'll do deep dive videos on individual killers to do a better showcase. But until then, everybody, stay safe out there in the fog. And until next time, bye bye.